Oh. Did you spill water on you?
No.
Oh.
It's so emotional for me because I found out Friday that Joey wasn't going to be hosting the show. And it's just not the same because it's Skip, Shannon, and Joey
You got
undisputed.
water all over
I
your...
know it's just so emotional for me right now, Skip. I just don't. I'm just so. Skip, this is some bull jive. You know it and I know it. So let me, Skip. I just want to make sure you and I are on the same page. Baker Mayfield was arrested in Arkansas on alcohol-related issues.
Yes.
Disorderly conduct, fleeing.
Public intoxication.
Public intoxication.
Yep.
I will give you this. At the time of his arrest, Bob Stoops was the coach. So are you telling me a crotch grab is worse than being arrested for public intoxication, disorderly conduct, and fleeing an officer? Is that what they're trying to tell me, Skip?
Well, at least the University of Oklahoma finally said, that's enough.
Hold on.
Like,
So
we're going to do something
Okay,
here.
so let me get this right. They said it's enough. When you're playing West Virginia at home, you're favored by 22, and their starting quarterback is out of the ball game. So that's the message you're sending. Interesting.
And the game doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
They've already clinched.
So
Yeah.
I'm just broken up about this Joy thing, and she's Skip.
His father did go to University of Oklahoma.
What I got to do with anything? He didn't think about that when he was drinking in Arkansas.
No.
Oh, so now all of a sudden it means something to be a captain. Now all of a sudden, that never went through his mind. When he jumped out the truck, he was very fortunate, Skip, because he got something that a lot of people that don't get an opportunity to flee, especially if the opposite color, they don't get that opportunity.
I don't know if he got a real good opportunity either because they threw him into a brick wall. You seen the video?
Would you rather be thrown into a brick wall or shot 17
I'm
times?
just saying, but he could have been badly hurt by that one.
Badly hurt. I know. So I know. Freddie Gray was.
I'm just saying.
Skip, you and I.
He didn't exactly get kid gloved.
Yeah, he's alive. So that's kid gloves.
I'll give you that.
That's-
But I'm just saying, they didn't exactly say, Mr. Mayfield, can we help you? Can we escort you back home?
Nah, they say Tamir Rice at 12 years old. Bam, 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 bam. No. But that's neither here nor there, Skip. Skip, you and I both know this is a bunch of hogwash. This is for, like you said, the board members in the University of Oklahoma, because there's no way a crotch grab on national, I get it. It is national television, but there's no way that's worse than being arrested for public intoxication or disorderly conduct. This is nothing here. First of all, look, I played. I don't even remember if I was a captain senior day. I don't even remember if I was a captain at the Super Bowl. I don't remember if I was a captain in my last game. I don't care about that, Skip. So, and Lincoln Riley talking about, you know, well, he's matured when, I'm talking about the suspension in the offseason when he took over. He says he's matured, he's become a leader. Really? Oh, he become a leader, huh? So your leader of your football team, who's probably going to win the Heisman, think he's Michael Jackson. Because that's the only guy that could grab his crotch and get away with it. Was him. So that's Baker Mayfield now. So you want us to believe that you're actually punishing him for that incident. Okay. If that's going to help you sleep better at night, and that's going to appease the board in Oklahoma and guys that love the University of Oklahoma like yourself. Okay, have at it.
Okay. I do love the University of Oklahoma, but I have often been overly hard on the University of Oklahoma, and I'm about to do it again right here, right now, because I am here to tell you that I got to know Johnny Manziel a little before he got drafted, and I know a whole lot about him. And more, Baker Mayfield is reminding me of one Johnny Manziel, and it is starting to scare me to death, and I think it's starting to scare a lot of people around the National Football League. Off.
Okay.
Well, depending on how your behavior is, some on-field behavior.
Okay.
But on ability, performance, draft stock, I told you the other day, as did Joel Klatt, it's starting to go through the roof. He can play. He can play at a high level. He could be a franchise quarterback at the next level. But I'm starting to wonder if he has the intangibles that I would bet on and count on. Because as I said about Johnny, I knew he had alcohol issues before the draft. I had heard he had dabbled with some recreational drugs before the draft, so I said on television, if I hear alcohol or drugs, I am out.
And you weren't talking about marijuana when you talk about the recreational stuff that he was experimenting with.
And it got worse and worse. So, The reason these two remind me of each other is they're both Texas kids, one from the San Antonio area, one from the Austin area, who came from affluent backgrounds. And both have the capability of turning on their adult charm when they're being interviewed, and they can be highly impressive. And it could have been an act like yesterday as you're trying to just do your skit over there. But the point is that when you watch Baker Mayfield get interviewed after games or during the week, he's 22 going on 32. When I used to see Johnny or talk to Johnny, he could turn on his adult charm and you'd say, this is as impressive a young man as I have ever seen.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you'd say, well, what was that? And what was that? Because it reminds me of the old sitcom. You're probably too old to remember it, but Leave It to Beaver.
I remember.
Yeah, okay.
Ward Cleaver.
Yeah.
Wally.
Eddie Haskell.
Eddie Haskell.
Remember Eddie Haskell?
Yeah. That was Wally's best friend.
And he was the classic, yes, Mr. Cleaver. Yes, Mrs. Cleaver. And then they leave the room and little Leave It to Beaver.
Thumping the...
Get out of here, squirt.
Yeah.
Get out of here. So that's Johnny Manziel, and it's turning into Baker Mayfield because it's one thing after another. And remember what happened before the Baylor game? He's posted on Instagram the kids in town and how much he loves to shut up rival crowds. Baylor is terrible.
Yeah.
Baylor is 1-10. And before the game, he gets into a shouting match with the Baylor players on the field and tells them that I'm your daddy and I'm here to spank you. Well, this is like crazy. You know, it's one thing to be competitive, and this kid is really competitive. It's another thing to be psycho-competitive, where you just completely lose your composure.
Skip, if you think about it, if you take the quarterback, you tell me the quarterback that displayed this kind of behavior that changed it once he got to the NFL. Cam Newton is the exact same guy at Auburn that he is now.
That's
See,
true.
the thing is, Skip, we never saw Cam lose, so we didn't know how he would respond.
Okay.
He won every game. He was running with his finger up. He was doing all this stuff in college. When he got to the
That
NFL,
is
what has he done?
correct. That is
Peyton
correct.
Manning, he was the same way, button up. Andrew Luck, button up. If you look at the guys,
I'm with you.
everybody said the same thing about Jamarcus Russell. They said he was supremely talented, but he was extremely lazy.
Yep.
When he got to the NFL, Skip, what did he do? The exact same thing.
He did.
So-
I did not like him before that draft, and I said, I'm out on Jamarcus.
So if you're hoping that Baker Mayfield is going to change, because at the end of the Skip,
So let's go to the Kansas game.
okay,
Kansas is now 1-10, as is Baylor 1-10. So you have to have some perspective on the situation in the moment.
Correct.
So what happens in the pregame coin toss?
they wouldn't shake his hand.
They wouldn't shake his hand. He reaches his hand out, they wouldn't shake his hand.
Right.
And he is furious and starting to lose it. And then he starts clapping like, okay, if that's the way you want to play it. And then late in the first half, it's just gale force wind, and he's having a hard time throwing with and against the wind. And he takes a cheap shot from one of the DBs that was he should have been ejected because it was a targeting cheap shot.
Right.
But you got to keep the perspective. You're Oklahoma and they're Kansas. So then he's John. He jaws with everybody, and he goes over on the sideline. He's out of his mind, and he's going psycho-competitive. And then he crotch grabs and yells, F you, and he's screaming like he's lost control. He's lost poise. That's not how a franchise quarterback would act.
Absolutely not. Skip, if you want to get them back, you score a touchdown, and then you go into the end zone.
They had.
And you shake your own guy's hand. Like, thank you, guys.
I know.
Thank you, appreciate it. Appreciate it. That's how you get them back. You Skip, that's, as you mentioned, Kansas.
Yeah.
Kansas, when has Kansas ever been known for football?
Well, come on.
They're a basketball school.
I mean, they've had their blips, but they're a basketball school. And that's what he was yelling at the people in the stands. You're a basketball school.
Well, Gale Sayers doesn't count.
Okay.
so
Well, the point is that now I look back at the Fayetteville, Arkansas incident, and it reminds me of Johnny Manziel, because remember what Johnny once did? He's at A&M, and he goes to rival University of Texas and goes to a frat party.
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen?
Yeah.
You don't think alcohol was involved in that one? You're just going to barge into a frat party at the University of Texas. What do you think they're going to do?
Right.
You don't think them as fighting words?
yeah, throw your tail out. Because
Yeah,
I wish somebody would from like Morehouse or Albany State of Fort Valley come up on our campus.
That's what I'm saying. So what did Baker Mayfield do with his girlfriend? I have no idea what the circumstance was. They go to Fayetteville, Arkansas, the home of the University of Arkansas. What are you doing? It's not that it's a big rival, but you go to another campus.
They know you.
And you get drunk, and you get into some altercation with somebody, and the cops come, and then you try to run from the cops. It's craziness, and you say, uh-oh, big red flag goes up. You got issues, you got alcohol issues, you got, you start acting like a spoiled brat rich kid who doesn't have an edit button, right?
Yeah.
You don't have, again, what are you doing? And I look at the whole, if we pile up all these episodes, it's starting to scare me. I love the ability. I don't love all the lack of intangibles.
A lot of times, franchise quarterback is not so much about ability. It's about presentation.
Yeah.
Are you going to be the CEO? Are you going to be the face? Are you going to be able to articulate? Am I going to have to worry about you getting a DUI? Am I going to have to worry about you doing things that's not being a franchise quarterback, Skip, is it's about stats. It's about wins and losses, but it's about presentation.
Yeah.
It's about being.
Last quick thing. Johnny Manziel gets suspended by the NCAA for the selling of his autograph.
Well, he gave 4,000 free autographs away.
Yeah. And so he has to miss the first half of the opener against Rice. And it's at home, and he comes in the second half and goes crazy and gets into it with the Rice players, and he's giving them the money sign. And Kevin Sumlin has to go out on the field and pull him off the field and lecture him on the side. That's the same guy. Am I not seeing the same guy here all over again? Interesting.
You better do your homework.
Wow.
I don't know if there's that much homework to do, really. I think it's pretty obvious. What makes him the ultimate college football player is what's going to hurt him in the NFL. If you're a wide receiver or running back or defensive end, you can get away with this, but not as a franchise quarterback. But he's
Only Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
But you know, Phillip.
But he doesn't go crazy like this. I mean, there's no crotch grabs.
Well, no.
He
But
just talks.
You know, him and Jay Cutler was going. I mean, you don't normally see quarterbacks going at it.
Well, but Philip keeps a running dialogue with everybody.
You can have some edge. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you got to be able to ride the highs
I
and
wonder if
lows.
this will cost him some Heisman votes. I would think some of the old school voters would say, we don't want this guy representing
Well,
college
remember
football.
Jameis Winston, Manziel,
I
Cam
know.
Newton, they all won. So the off the field stuff doesn't always affect that.
Baker Mayfield's playing great.
Yeah.
But in case the people didn't know, Lamar Jackson is having a better year this year than he had last year when he won the Heisman.
Well.
His team just, ugh.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few segments from the newest show on FS1, First Things First, with Chris Carter and Nick Wright.